Hi, my name is John Canan. Thanks for listening to what I hope will be some helpful insights in the podcast below. You might be wondering who I am and why I'm doing these podcasts. I have a fairly diverse background. I was raised in San Diego. My dad was a well-known publicist and the president of the Democratic Party at one time. He handled all the publicity for presidential candidates when they visited San Diego. My mom was a professional astrologer and did a syndicated radio show. I was raised a Catholic but became an atheist early in my life. Later, I got involved in the Jesus movement in the 70s and eventually joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Also early in life, I developed a huge interest in two things, music and romance. It was a good combination because most of my attempts at love ended in horribly painful breakups. But the breakups were great inspirations for songs. One of these songs, What If I Loved You, was the #1 song in Utah for a time. However, most people know me from singing Michael McLean's You're Not Alone. I continued to write and record music in the 80s and 90s, but grew even more interested in studying life mastery and successful relationships. This eventually led to about 30 years of doing personal coaching and teaching seminars and workshops. But despite my love for helping others with their relationships, I continued to struggle with my own, including a very painful divorce. I thank God that Narelle, who had also been through some rough times, attended one of my workshops. I didn't know it when I first met her, but God was giving me a second chance to get it right. Narelle and I have been married for about 16 years now. A friend once told me after meeting Narelle that she was a bouquet from heaven. I've seen this more and more of each day of our life together. After our marriage, Narelle joined me in teaching and coaching others. A lot of our passion in teaching was because of what we saw happen, not just in our own families, but in so many others in the aftermath of divorce. And in addition to the breakup of families all around us, Narelle and I have been so sad to watch so many people's faith unravel in recent times, including the faith of many of our children, which leads me to this podcast. I suppose the best way to explain why I'm doing this is with this story. Years ago, I used to sing at a nearby mall from time to time. I set up at a large fountain inside the mall. Often there'd be hundreds of people hanging around, having lunch and listening to the music. It was really fun. On one occasion, just after singing You're Not Alone, a woman came up to me from behind and put her arms around me and said, "I've always wanted to hug the person who sang this song." After figuring out what had happened, because she kind of caught me by surprise, I returned her sentiment. I've always wanted to hug the person I sang it to. The same goes for everyone that I hope will share in the conversations I'm planning for this podcast. I hope this podcast brings insights you may be looking for in your relationships and in your faith. I hope it'll be a little song to help you get along, as Michael McLean puts it, and feel like a hug from heaven. You're not alone. Even though right now you're on your own, you are loved in ways that can't be shown. Your needs are known. You're not alone. And when you cry, you're just letting go a heartache deep inside. So tomorrow there'll be sunshine and sky and love close by. You're not alone. I know that it's not easy, but I know that it won't last. 'Cause one who loves you more than me is sending blessings fast. You're not alone. Say it one more time, I'm not alone. Even when it's hard to say the words, you're always heard. You're not alone. You're not alone. Say it one more time, I'm not alone. Even when it's hard to find the words, your prayers are heard.